I think efficiencies, I think overall morale, I think that the employees' morale is going to probably go through the roof because they feel like they have an input now. Hey, this is better if it went here and it makes my job easier. If we take the employees and listen, they're a great tool, we can use it. I think now the employees are a little apprehensive because it's new to them, but as they get used to the system and use the system, long term they'll say, oh, hey, this is a great system, why didn't we do this 5 years sooner? And as new employees come in, if we teach them the system, it's just going to keep enhancing and building and building and building to a point where maybe a couple of years from now you would never know we are unorganized and disorganized. We have everything where it goes and makes everybody's job a lot easier.
The visual management boards are a key part because it's a communication tool to use to the employees. It gets some key metrics as far as inventory level, throughput level, safety, 5S score, downtime, things like that, to communicate from management to the employee. But we also have the opportunity there for the employee to communicate to management. We have an idea board there that has a just do it or a can do, where they can do things on their own, or that need help, or they need maintenance help, or it might be a capital project. But that is actually an opportunity for them to write an idea on the board and then let the supervisor and the managers know if somebody had the idea, they have to acknowledge it and follow through with that. So we have that information, that part, and then we also where we communicate the periodic cleaning schedule, the daily audit schedule, and past audit schedules as well, so, past audit results, so that these guys can know what they performed poorly on and actually go back and correct those things and raise their score in the future.
I'd say yes. We've got to put more money into the NRA to help them fight these bandits. Did I say bandits? No, you must have said bandits.
You said bandits. It's your word, sir. It's a good word. I haven't heard it. When you speak in groups, you end with "Long live the NRA."
Yes.
Tell me about that.
I was fishing for salmon on a river in eastern Canada about 25 or 30 years ago. And there were a couple of lawyers who were good sportsmen, but they were rather liberal in camp. And the NRA came up, and I said, "Long live the NRA." And the next morning, my guided canoe hit a rock and turned over and dumped me in the drink. And I was hanging on to one end of the canoe, which jammed up against some rocks, and my feet were trailing like this. And two of those guys came down in another canoe, and I yelled at them, "Long live the NRA!" That's how it started with me.
You are obviously you're an amazing, accomplished hunter. You've been all over the world. You've hunted big game. Tell us what we're sitting in front of here.
These are Marco Polo sheep taken in China, the only ones ever taken in China, as to the best of my knowledge. And it took me 6 years of negotiation with the Chinese to allow me to hunt in the Pamirs. And the result was that I had one exhibition in October of '80, and didn't see any rams. But the local people, I had a good interpreter, and the local people said, "You have to come back in December." And in December, the rams come over the borders and come into China. Well, they allowed me to go back in December, and on the 21st of December, I got the first one, and two more on Christmas Eve, and there they are.
Two zero.
Check digits you set from 0.
1-0.
1-1-1 address.
1-0.
Full pallet Bravo pick 2 cases.
One.
Confirm pallet.
A.
Full pallet Bravo pick 6 cases.
6. B.
Confirm pallet. Block 1 for Bravo.
One six.
For pallet
One.
Bravo pick 1 8. Confirm pallet.
B.
Go to I Delta Charlie. Stay ready.
Ready.
Block 1 1 0.
Hi, my name is Paul Esch, and I am the CEO and founder of Concrete Value Corp. And I'd like to personally welcome you to CVC.
The operator can move the pump boom while being controlled by remote control. Smooth operation of the pump boom is critical. The pump operator will alert employees to potential safety hazards when necessary. During a footing pour, one member of the pour crew guides the pump hose. The employee guiding the hose end should always have two hands firmly holding both sides of the hose. Never lift the hose or attempt to stretch the hose. The guide will work in close proximity to the operator to maintain safe handling procedure.
Expand the bench to the desired width up to a maximum of 58 inches by sliding the two pieces apart. With the Invisibolt system, you must expand the bench in 2.5-inch increments so that the large holes in the front of the bench will be aligned. Once expanded, there are 6 1/4-inch holes that will need to be re-drilled for the overlapping metal of the intersecting bench half. You will notice that the Invisibolts will align straight through the front holes to the knockout holes in the back of the bench unit. We then mount the bench to the back and/or side walls depending on your installation. You may want to cut a couple of temporary legs to assist in securing the bench to the wall as we show here. Using the 1/4-inch holes and the supplied fasteners that came with the bench kit, secure the unit to the location. Tighten the bolts until the integral washer face just makes contact with the front face of the BB ADJR. The mortar used to fill the bench is referred to as a dry pack deck mud. This material is 4 parts sand to 1 part Portland cement bench. Fill the front face of the BB ADJR with the same material. Adding a small amount of additional water to make it slightly stickier will assist in filling the front face. Allow fill material to cure for 48 hours minimum prior to continuing. Tighten Invisibolts about 1/4 to 1/2 turn or until resistance is about 15 to 20 pounds of torque. Do not over tighten or cause any deflection in the face of bench. Tile as desired or use other suitable finish material to cover the bench and front face.